Mike for being our MC. And your work is not done. If I get too boring or too long-winded, you're going to be the man with the hook. So, what can I say? You know, I am a little disappointed. We all know that great men are never appreciated in their lifetime. Until today. I still thought I had a chance. That's gone. Let's talk basketball. Okay? Has anybody been watching any college basketball in the last 2-3 weeks? I mean, it's March Madness. It's exciting. With all the buzzer beaters and alley-oops and slam dunks and overtimes, the celebration, the tears. It's America. But in between those games, they have these little video clips of great moments from past tournaments. And they show it every year. And it's a little video clip from the National Championship, 1977. Coach Al McGuire and the Marquette Warriors versus Coach Dean Smith and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Marquette, huge underdogs. No team's ever won the championship with that many losses in the regular season. January of that year, mid-season, Al McGuire announces his retirement at the end of the year. Well, if you know your history, that night Marquette won their first and only national championship. And it was Coach Al's last day of work. How's that? This guy knows how to retire. Me? Not so much. So I've been thinking about famous people that retired, politicians, entertainers, athletes, Greta Garbo, Lou Gehrig, Richard Nixon, David Letterman, Johnny Carson, Brett Favre, So here's what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to stand here after all these nice things that everybody has said. I'm not going to stand here and say, I'm so humble. You know, people say that. They get the Academy Award, they get the Nobel Prize, or they get the most valuable player. They go, I'm so humble. No, they're not. This is not humility. It doesn't feel anything like this. I tasted humility. I mean, just think of Marquette's 40 minutes in the tournament this year. I call that humility by 20. Well, I just want to say a little bit. People asked me this afternoon, I saw many patients, and a lot of them said, why did you come to Plymouth? And I had to think about that because back in that day, there were recruiters. Not so many like now. I think everybody we get now comes from a recruiter. There were a few back then. The word on the street was, don't trust them. So I didn't. I wrote a letter to the State Medical Society and told them that I was looking for a small or mid-sized city with a hospital, and I wanted to join a clinic because I didn't think I was trained to run a business. Also, I could not afford the malpractice insurance in my first patient. So I got a list of about 20 communities fitting that description. And I probably visited somewhere between 5 and 10. And I gotta say, Plymouth was not the top of the list. And nice community, nice people, great hospital. But I gotta thank my first wife that I'm here. She's from Chicago. I could get no further from Chicago than Plymouth. But it was okay because I was going to do the same thing. It didn't matter where I went. I was going to do the same thing anyway. And there was no question that this community, I don't know if they knew it, but they really needed me. I knew I had my work cut out for me. I remember, like yesterday, my first day of practice, long ago, September 1st, I think you saw the picture. The night before, I couldn't sleep. Got up in the morning, couldn't eat breakfast. Too much anticipation. I was living west of Plymouth, went outside. Glaciers were still there. Just starting to recede. I was near the Ice Age Trail back then. They just called it the trail. I got in my car, you know, and I came down Highway 23, which went right past this restaurant at the time. In fact, where we are right now, Mom, I'm sorry, it's a Ford dealership. Cornell Motors. I think Dad would be a little disappointed if I ended up here in a Ford dealership. So anyway, I went to the hospital to make rounds. Rounds? Wait, I didn't have any patients. So I went in, I thought I didn't meet the nurses, I gotta kind of learn my way around, and so I talked to some people and introduced myself. And most people, as I was walking away, they didn't want me to hear, but I heard more than once, he's too young to be a doctor. Just to get a lot. So after that, I think our office started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I went over about 8:30. Hey, Ann, Mickey, don't laugh.
Yeah, I just said that.
Really, all you nurses? Yep. Well, that day was such a bomb, never again, might come in early. So, I went to the clinic that Dr. Mary and George were referring to. They gave me a key, I went in the back door. My office was in the back. When I came, everybody else moved up. We didn't have computers or cell phones. I think we had electricity, phone. And after I arranged some things in my office, I went up to the desk, you know, and say, well, receptionist, Dr. Sharon knew, can I see my schedule? Schedule. Just a minute. Rumbling in the background. He wants to see his schedule. After a pause, I come out. We don't have a schedule for you yet. But, you know, somebody's bound to call up and want to be seen right away or walk in, and we'll make you their first choice. And sure enough, about 10:30, somebody walked in and wanted to be seen. They gave him the new doctor. An hour and a half for lunch break. Here again, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Somebody called and wanted to be seen yesterday. I got another one. Got home early that night. I talked to my mom about it, and I said, I thought these people really needed me. I don't know if this is going to go. And she said, oh, don't worry. Just be nice to people. They'll come back when they need you. Send their friends, their family. And they did. Some of them came back, sent their families. The ones that didn't like me sent their enemies. It was all good. The community got a lot better after that. Dr. Schrader and Ehrenberg came, and I was so happy that they came. I knew George since we were freshmen together at Schrader Hall and Marquette. And Mary, I met my first year of residency in Rockford. Dr. Peschke joined us, Dr. Ganju came. Later, Dr. Gavin and Dr. Palat. These were all our competition, you know, but we needed them so bad. Now, you know, probably it would be my first choice. Working in the hospital was really a unique experience for all of us. I don't know that any physician will ever get that experience again, to work in a community hospital with neighbors, friends, and people who not only are good at their job, but just really care. And that was just a wonderful experience. My mission's over. I got some time, I got a little money, and I have a beautiful woman to spend it with. A few months ago, I said, as we were talking about retirement, in fact, we couldn't say retirement, we called it permanent vacation. And I said, you know what, Plymouth has been so good to me, you know, I can't just close the door and turn out the lights when I'm done. You know, I want to do something, maybe open a house or get some friends and my colleagues together, and that's all I had to say. She was on it. She got Ann Conrad and Nikki Entringer, got Debbie Neneman. Well, I didn't know much of how she was doing it, but she did ask me, what about a budget? I said, well, something like this, you know, you have an unlimited budget. She went through it like that. I wasn't worried about that. You know? And I don't know how she did it. Talking to her about it this week, she said, don't worry, I think I can get Mexico to pay for this. Another stellar basketball coach is a man named John Wooden. And some people maybe are too young to know who John Wooden was, but he won 10 national championships with the UCLA Bruins in the 60s and 70s. People quote John Wooden about a lot of things. John Wooden told his players time and again, it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. And I'll say it again, it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. My wife has taught me so much after I knew it all. I'm so blessed with people and patience. I've said it more than once, but I know I haven't said it enough. I do have the best wife in the world. I wish all of you, and said you can say the same about your partner in life. So if you're here tonight, it's for one of three reasons. You're one of my colleagues, co-workers, caregivers. You're the people that made me look good, better than I really am, and I'm so indebted to you. Or you're my family, the family I was born into or the family I married into. Or you're a friend. And most of you are probably in more than one group. And I have a message for each group. So, to my colleagues, it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. So we all know it all, right? We're trained, we're tested, we're retested, we're reevaluated. If you know the algorithm, you know it all. You know what algorithm? There's probably some English majors here that don't know what an algorithm is. God bless you for that. So an algorithm is branching logic, you know. You have chest pain, yes, okay, now stable or unstable, you go right. Hemodynamically stable, you go left. It's like the NBA or the NCAA brackets, except the loser doesn't go home, they just go into a different branch. And it will lead you to a diagnosis. It's getting bigger and bigger in medicine. Learn the algorithm, you know it all. Boeing Air is learning a hard lesson about the algorithm. It's more than knowing it all. It was the algorithm that the pilots could not overrule by the seat of their pants. We call it now the tyranny and the arrogance of the algorithm. Let me give you another example about learning after you know it all. And this was fairly early in my career. I don't know if it was the first experience like this, but I had a patient that I cared for many years. He had a degenerative neurologic condition. When I first saw him, he came into my office with a cane, and after some years, he came with 2 canes. Nobody knew what he had. He was a World War II veteran. Pretty sure he picked this up in the Sea of Japan. Later, he came with a walker, and later with a wheelchair. He was always cheerful. We always talked about skiing because he also knew a good friend of mine named Denny Steffen. People here remember Denny Steffen. Well, this gentleman became too frail that he couldn't make it to the office anymore. His wife was caring for him at home. And one Saturday afternoon, Barb and I were like we frequently do, down many of the Plymouth neighborhoods. And Barb, being a Plymouth native and town historian who knows everybody, said, "This is where Marvin lives. Should we go see him?" And I said, "Yeah, let's go see him." Now this is a man, he's not on the algorithm, right? Modern medicine and medical science has nothing to offer this man. We went in and rang the doorbell. The wife said, "Yeah, Marvin's, he sleeps a lot, but I'll see if he can take a visitor." And we went in and sat in the dining room. She came out and said, yeah, he'll see you. And he sat up and we talked for a while. I don't remember what we talked about. I didn't think we stayed very long. And we went on our way. And I didn't do anything. I felt good about it. Marvin passed away not long after that. His wife is now in her 90s. I still see her. More than once, she has thanked me for everything that I did for her husband. What? I didn't do anything that I was trained to do. I didn't diagnose anything. I didn't treat anything. I didn't prescribe anything. I don't think I said anything very intelligent while I was there. Yeah. It's what you learn after you know everything that counts. To my friends, you're the spice of life. When I came to Plymouth, I was a pretty well-rounded guy. I knew it all. And just balanced out, I was a tennis player. Playing tennis, I met one of my first mentors, Jim Rowan. Jim was a lot younger than I am now, but his nickname was Dad Rowan. And Jim never used a comb over. When he started losing his hair, he just shaved his head. He was the first guy I knew that did that. It was before Michigan's Fabulous Five. Jim was doing it. One day in my office, he said, "I'll give you my best, Jim Rowan. Doc, you should do the burpee." The burpee? Yeah, it's the ski race up north. It's 33 miles in the snow. You love it. I said, yeah, it sounds like something I'd like to do. He goes, yeah, a lot of people say that. So I had other mentors like that. Jim O'Connell and Dick Raber. They're here tonight. I've skied many places with Jim in the U.S. and in Europe. And in some cases, everybody gets pre-race jitters. Going to ski in Michigan, it's always 10 below zero, wind chill 20 below, fresh driven snow. And no matter what the conditions, the night before the race, when everybody's all in butterflies, Jim will say, "It's going to be great." And he's always right. And Dick is still up at Hayward doing the Bronco this year yet. He's in his 80s. I don't want to say where in his 80s, but he's there. When I first came, Ryan Wheeler and Mike McFadden told me I was recreationally deprived. But I got it, and Mike told you all about that. So yeah, there was a lot that you taught me, my friends. Jack Delger is still going to teach me to golf. But what I did learn is the joy of being outside, the peace and spirituality and wisdom that comes from motion. And to my family, T.S. Eliot did not coach basketball, but he did win the Nobel Prize in Literature, and he was a pretty smart guy for a poet. And he said about people that we shall never cease from exploring. And the end of all our exploration is to arrive at the place where we started and to know the place for the first time. And that was my experience with my family. I was the first to go to college. I left home in Antigua in 1971 when I was 18. My parents made a Marquette University, and they were so proud. First kid to college. And over that 11 years, I learned a lot. When I came back, I knew it all. But I think I knew my family for the first time and began to appreciate them. And I'm so fortunate to be born into a rock-solid, reality-based family and to marry into a family, and I'm not kidding you, of the nicest people that you would ever meet. And I'm not just talking about my wife and her immediate family, the cousins, the uncles, and they're not faking it. I would have caught them by now if they were faking it. So, I'd like to introduce each one of my family, but I promised Alan that I would have everybody out of here before the next glacier comes. So, I do want to acknowledge my mother is here. I don't know if you had a chance to meet her. We've got a big crowd. Blessed to have my mother here. Unfortunately, my dad and my wife's parents could not be here. And I do have one of the greatest generation here with us tonight. My mother taught us a lot. And as you can imagine, a young mother with 10 kids, and I think it was really 3 bedrooms instead of 4, 1 bathroom, about 5 toothbrushes, a regular washer in the basement. You know, it just was not physically possible to sit us on her knee and teach us the Beatitudes. We had to get our lessons succinct and to the point. And there were many of those. But the one, maybe the only one I was able to follow is her advice to me time and again. Don't wish your life away. You know, when you're a kid, I wish it was summer. Don't wish your life away. Oh, I wish it was Christmas. Don't wish your life away. And I didn't. I didn't wish my life away. It has been a great ride, and it went fast. The rest of the family. The family is your soul. It's bigger than we are. It's from where we come and back to where we go. It's there before us and it'll be there after us. Our family allows us to be what we are, and it forgives us for what we're not. Barbara Streisand also did not coach basketball. But she was a pretty good singer. I didn't wish my life away, but I wish I could sing. And if I could, I would sing what she sang about people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. And I am one of the luckiest people in the world because of all of you. Thank you so very much.